Yo guys, it's your boy BDNR here, back on Focus on You, episode 3. We are here with a special candidate today. Make some noise for Lauren, aka LOLLYPOPBEATZ. It's very nice to have you here, Lauren.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Let's get straight into it. First things first, where the heck did you get LOLLYPOPBEATZ?
I knew you were going to ask that.
Like,
People ask that.
What is that about? Why? Talk to me.
My name is Lauren. Yeah. Nickname has always been Lollipop. I absolutely hate it, or Lolly. And what else am I going to name myself? Like, finding a producer name is so hard. So the username, like Lollipop spelled with an I was taken, so I just spelled it with a Y, and then Beats.
Who called you Lollipop? Who gave you that nickname?
Parents, my mum. She still calls me Lolly, and it's weird now that rappers call me Lolly as well. It's so weird. I'm not used to it. And like even just
it kind of does work with you though, kind of.
I mean, before people knew I was a girl, they'd think like a producer called Lollipop. Like, what kind of name is that?
Yeah, exactly. That's
so it makes a little bit more sense, I guess, if you're a girl. But still, I don't like it. But here we are. I've got the name.
It's done you well so far. Oh shit, it's done you well so far. So okay, that's very interesting. So let's get straight into the nitty gritty. So, how did you even get into producing? You know, how did that come about? What was your inspirations?
So I'd say Future. Because I was listening to like, I don't know, pop music when I was younger, and then my cousin showed me Kendrick Lamar, Travis Scott. I was like, okay, I like rap. Yeah. Heard Future, I was like, that's it. Yeah. I was listening to the beats more than the actual song. So I found out about Metro Boomin, Southside. Those are my favorite producers. They literally the reason why I make beats. So I guess it was a bit. The interest came from that, and then I just found a random YouTube video.
Okay.
Do you know Genius, the brand? They do like the lyric.
Yeah, Genius.
Breakdown. They also did like beat breakdown videos.
Oh yeah, they did.
That's literally, I started watching them. I was like, okay, and then downloaded the software FL Studio, and it was like straight. It wasn't straight away, but
I was gonna say, like, what software do you use? Is it FL or
Studio,
Ableton?
FL Studio.
So have you ever used Ableton before? Are you like a hater on Ableton? Because everyone doesn't really like Ableton. Why though? What's wrong with that software?
It just looks like alien. I guess it's like whatever you're used to. And like even I hate on Logic as well. Okay, and I did like a beginner music production course, dropped out after 6 weeks, but it was on Logic. I was like, I can't. You can't do it. FL is, once you're used to that, nothing else makes sense. FL's just the easiest thing. Makes no sense for me. And most like trap producers use FL. So
okay, so it must be like the main one. Okay, that makes sense. So Future's your GOAT, right? So that's how you got into your heavy trap beats production. So what's your aspirations in terms of your career? What do you want to like? What do you want to make? What do you want to make the name Lollipop mean in the trap community? Like,
just I guess recognition. People ask me what my goals. I have no clue. Just keep going. Yeah. Because there's no limit. You just see how far it can go. Yeah, exactly. Like you kind of work your way up, working with different people, and just work with people I like to work with the most. Meet different producers. Obviously, I'd love to one day be in the studio with like Metro Boomin, Southside, Future. Yeah. I try not to fangirl. I'm such a fangirl, but you can't be a fangirl in this industry. You have to be like, hi Southside, what's up?
Yeah,
like, I can't, inside,
like,
I'll be like going crazy.
you're insane, honestly.
But, so I don't know, just keep going, honestly. That's my goal.
Just keep going until you can't anymore. That makes a lot more sense. So longevity. Yeah. Okay. So in terms of producing, when it comes to, you know, making beats, like you said, you're so used to FL Studio. What's the biggest ick that you found creating beats like? Because I've been around a couple producers myself, and they all say different stuff about like certain people using like very common like 808s or
I don't care about that
or that type of stuff. But do you have any like, you know, problems when it comes to like producing, or anything that you just hate, that you can't stand when you hear a beat or something like that when you create?
Not really. I mean, I use the same 808 every single time. Everyone knows I love the spins. I don't know. Have you heard of spins 808?
I've heard of it. Do I know what it is? I don't know.
It's what you'll hear in most trap beats, and it's just the one. It hits every time. I use the same kind of repetitive sounds every time. Is
with spins 808? Is that the one like Boss Man Dido and them type of artists would use? Like Lil Baby, Lil Baby, old school Lil Baby.
Yeah, literally Future Lil Baby. Like every beat and you feel that bass. It's not like the most like boom, but it's just, if you're a producer, you
just know
it's just the one. I even made a t-shirt like on Amazon, I Heart the Spins 808.
I think I saw that earlier today on your grandma.
But that was for like marketing for a like drum kit that I put together.
Oh, okay. So. Trap Queen, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You've done your research.
Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, you didn't sign me up for no reason. Okay, then cool. So Spins 808. I need to actually learn because I actually want to start making beats.
You definitely should.
I'm not going to, and it'll probably never come out, so don't ever get excited. But I do want to, I'm speaking to more people like you. It's so interesting when I hear this up. And I love music too, so I should find out what Spins 808 means.
You should.
Definitely. So let's get into placements. Now, you've been killing the game. There's a reason why we wanted you here. Like, we've seen serious names on your credits, like G Herbo, Rowdy Rebel, T-Ski. Is it T-Ski or T-Ski? Yeah.
T-Ski.
Who was your first big placement, first of all?
It was YBN. That was like my first label placement. I mean, he was bigger back in the day, but he just found me on YouTube because I used to post Chief Youth type beats. He just hit me up and said, I've recorded on like 10 of your beats. And he signed to Universal. Okay. So that was like, big for me. I didn't have any management. I was like, what the hell do I do? Is it a song
is it a recognizable song that we would know? No. No,
it didn't do well. It was 2 songs actually.
Okay.
No, it would have been sick to get one kind of when he was a bit bigger.
He has kind of dropped off, like.
A lot of artists have, and I'm not going to hate, like, it is hard to stay up there all the time. He's still, he could come back, make a comeback.
Yeah, he can even come down here and people will come and see him anyway, so it's like, but yeah, okay, so YBN, that's crazy. So out of all those placements, who would you say is your favorite one and why?
So the MAF T-Ski G Herbo one, it was a feature from G Herbo because I guess that's
when you was manifesting the G Herbo placement. Is that what it is?
You have definitely done your research. Yeah, that was a weird moment because I made that beat 2 days later after that.
No way.
He ended up popping on. And originally T-Ski, like I worked with T-Ski because he found me through YouTube and we were just like, we kind of not blew up together, but like we're growing together. And then, he started to get recognition from different artists like in Chicago. And then he just did, I think, a full verse on that song or like sent it off to someone else, said, who wants to hop on this? And then I saw he was in the studio with G Herbo and the beat was playing in the background. I was like messaging everyone that was in the studio saying, please tell me G Herbo's hopped on the beat. And they were like, nah. They were just playing the song. And then I don't know how long after that, maybe like 2 weeks after that, a producer called me. I was like, he hopped on it in the end. Of course, I burst out crying. I'm never going to do that again. But if I was in person, I would try and act chill. But no, honestly, it just meant so much to me. It's my favorite song, the only song that I produced that I know like every single lyric.
No.
Not that I know what it means. Sometimes I sing like the censored version. I just like the whole thing's basically silent. If I'm doing the censored version, I'm like,
oh, that is crazy. But that's good though. You should be happy that you get placements like that. Obviously, you have to keep like you were saying earlier, when you're in the scene, you have to keep a PR face. But it's good to show emotion that you're be proud of what you've achieved, But that must have been insane. G Herbo, I mean, obviously right now he's going through a madness, but like
I don't even know what's going on.
Oh, what happened to it? He's in a court case, and I think he's going
like
to
they
jail.
all are though. I can't keep up. That's why I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, he's in jail for something, but he's like not coming out. Like he's pissed.
Really?
Yeah, no man, free him up. I mean, don't free him, but like.
That's what I say. Like, there's artists that I've worked with now. They're locked up. Do I say like free them?
No, don't even get yourself involved. No. That's actually gone on to my next point. Now, you being a girl from Hertfordshire, working with these drill artists and abroad, have you ever been worried about maybe if someone asks you for a beat and it's a beat for a diss to another gang? Have you ever thought about that type of stuff? And when you went over there, was you a bit on edge because you don't know, you could be just chilling with them and boom, and they roll up and it gets cracking? What's on your mind? So
obviously I do think about that, but I guess since I started, I knew the lyrics anyway, what they're gonna say. It is weird to think I'm just making beats in my room, and then so many disses have been made on my beats, and the things that they say, I kind of understand it, and I've had to educate myself as well, just what's going on, because sometimes obviously there's rivals, ops, whatever, and then there was this one artist from Chicago that used a beat of mine that was a Chief Youth type beat, and he you know, like O Block and 63rd.
Yeah.
He was from 63rd, and he's used a cheeky type beat. So everyone's like, why? And I'm like, what's going on? And then, obviously, you'd think I might be scared when I'm in the studio, especially in America, but I've never felt scared at all. It's weird. The toughest looking rappers, or like their lyrics, are always the sweetest. So they're actually softies, obviously, to me, not to other people. It's something I do worry about. Like, if I'm to go to America again, like, you never know what can happen.
Honestly.
Also, you never know what can happen over here. So
it's very true.
It is weird that they're saying that stuff on my beats, but I make the beat, you say what you want. I'm not condoning it.
I wash my hands from that point on.
People would like say, oh, like, what side are you? And I'm like, come on.
No.
I'm
just doing my job here, man.
But it does get a bit techy.
Does Mama Lollipop know that you're getting involved in gang wars abroad?
She knows everything, and you know, I'm lucky my parents are supportive, but obviously, like, it came up in conversation when my grandma was around for dinner the other day, and they're like, we worry about you, and I'm like, but the rappers are nice. Like, no, it's all about how they treat me. If I've ever felt like uncomfortable or scared because of how they treated me, then that's something different. But obviously, you could be chilling at a studio, and then obviously people could pull up, and you can't predict that. But you know, I know not to post. Saying if I'm in the studio, I know to wait to post if I'm with them, in case people know that studio and then they turn up. You never know who's looking at your story. It is all scary, and people think I shouldn't be making beats, and like, oh, what is she doing? And yeah, she should be involved. Like, she's not exempt from all the I don't know. It's yeah, my parents, they're all right.
They're just doing what parents do in it. They're just
they're protective of me anyway, but they've never like stopped me from going to the studio.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
No. Okay, no, that's understandable. So like, what's your, so like you said, you've been to America a few times. What's the difference from working over there and working here in the UK? Is there like a massive difference? Is there not really a major difference? Do you feel a bit more comfortable on either side? Like, what's the deal on that?
I mean, I've only been to LA and Atlanta. That was like in the same trip. That was the only time I've gone to America. I'm going to Miami next month, but I'd say it is a big difference, just like producers wise as well. I feel like I belong there a lot more than here. Just the way that the sessions go, people are way more open and friendly. You never know who you're gonna kind of meet at the studio. It does happen here as well, but it's different over there. People are just a lot more energetic. Like, the artists are a lot more energetic.
It's like you can feel the energy in the air. That's how live it is.
But even just producers, I find it way easier to make beats over there, and I don't know, if you just make way more beats quicker. I'm not saying that, you know, you should focus on the time it takes to make the beat. Just enjoy the process. I'm starting to meet like really cool people here as well. But you know, with a lot of drill here, I don't like to make what I don't like to listen to. And I mean, I can appreciate the drill and all that. Like, I might listen to it, but I don't want to make those beats. I want to I'm very focused on what I like to listen to and make.
Of course.
But it's just, I feel like America. I always said before I even went there, I might move out there one day. I don't think I'd live there permanently, but it does feel a lot more comfortable for me.
Definitely, you think, like, in terms of opportunities, like being in America, it's the right place to be, where it's just so big and so vast. Like, the opportunities are endless. Not saying there's no opportunities down here in England, but it's just very, very, it's far and few between, as you know, being in England, being from England, like, and just trying to get to work with other people here. We're very stubborn, we're a very stagnant country and stuff like that. So, no, for sure. And plus, like you said, drill here, I don't really like to listen to it anymore. I did when I was younger, and it's a dying breed. But over there, American drill is always gonna be popping. I feel like it's like, especially New York drill around that time when like the Jen Kyle, Kyle Rich were all going crazy. Like, I thought it would die down there, but it's getting even bigger over there. So you know.
And now there's Philly drill.
Philly drill.
It's like Skrilla, OT7
Quantity. Yeah. So is that like OT7 Quantity, OMB, PZ, people like that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's go see. So it's going crazy. Okay. So on to the next question I have for you. Thoughts on the UK underground. So you were speaking just before we started to turn the cameras on. We said you shout out Omin. Shout out to my boy Omin, #1 draft pick. That's gang. What is your thoughts about the underground scene right now? I know you're into heavy trap, American trap beats, so it doesn't. There's not really like correlation in the underground because there's a whole different sound. But like now that you seem a bit tapped in, what's your thoughts on that? And would you like to be involved? And are you working with anybody? Any inside information can we get if you are?
So I'd say I'm not tapped in at all. Okay. I'm very like American music only. I might listen to D Block Europe. I know they're not underground, but as I said, like, I'm trying to find artists to work with over here. I've seen on TikTok loads. I'm like, okay, they're doing their thing. They're cool. It's not too far different from what I make, the underground stuff. It can cross over with like distorted 808s and stuff, but I can't ever say his name. Fimi Guerrero. He's sick. I only know a couple songs, but I'm definitely not tapped in.
I saw you have a tune coming with New World Ray.
Yeah, him and Omin I found on TikTok, and I don't usually comment or find a lot of people most of the time that I'm like, okay, they're doing their thing, but I'll show love when you can, when I can. So yeah, I just commented on his TikTok, this is fire, because he had one song, it was sick.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So yeah, we had a studio session that was sick, and it didn't feel too far off of what I usually make.
Okay.
But I definitely need to be tapped in more and just be open to working with artists here. The last couple months I definitely have been in the studio more with artists, because before it'd just be producers, and I'd kind of be like, I wouldn't say American only, but I just need to find the right artists to work with, because there are loads that want to hop on trap. And then I might have to cater a bit towards their style, but of course. I'm kind of a bit picky with that. I'm like, work around me. Work around me, or like meet in the middle.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Help me, help you type shit. Yeah. Okay. Shout out to Fimi Guerrero. Shout out to Omi. Shout out to New World Ray. For sure, you definitely said the right people, because they're gonna go up. So you definitely think this is like a flourishing scene that the UK have going on right now?
Yeah, I mean, from what I've heard, I'd say now it's like growing the most that it's ever.
Yeah, it has.
But I'm not tapped in, so I'm not I can't speak on it too much. But what I've seen and heard, I know that it's going up. Yeah,
definitely look into it, because it's a scene that's only gonna get bigger. Yeah. But especially after yesterday was a big session, a big event with the top 3 artists right now in the underground. I wouldn't say one of them is underground. Lancey, he's not really underground, he's been around for time. But Lennon, Fimi Guerrero, they had a joint album, so they're going crazy. Shout out to the Conglomerate family. And that. But yeah, so what was I gonna say? What was the next part? What is your dream placement? I know every producer has one. Who is yours, and why them?
Future. People are sick of me saying Future, but yeah, it's just those beats are what made me want to start, making beats. And I think he's got a really consistent style that, 10 years ago. And
he's been going crazy for like
I don't know
20
how long.
years. Like.
Yeah. That would be my dream. Or Lil Durk, but hard Lil Durk. Like not singing Lil Durk. Not singing like no auto Durk.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's old school Durk.
Just anyone from Chicago as well.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Future, man. I mean, I can't. How old is he? Like 40 something.
I think so.
And he's still going hard. I mean, his last couple of projects. Yeah, but he's okay to have them type of projects, because he's been going hard for so long. Yeah. So, and like you said, it's so hard to always have like that top project. But like, Future would go crazy, especially on your beats for sure. Okay. So, do you have a favorite producer yourself? Because there's so many talented producers from the UK alone, but it could be in the US. Do you have a favorite producer, and why is it them?
Yeah, Southside and Metro Boomin. I don't know who I'd prefer. I don't think I could choose between them, because they're like on par with me.
Who do you think is better?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think I could.
You don't think you could
I don't think I could choose. I'd say Southside is more inspired me in terms of making beats quickly and just keeping it simple. You don't need a million different sounds, and you don't need to make it complicated.
Southside's got that West Coast beat pattern down to the T. Yeah.
And Metro, I feel, is more experimental, and you see him actually playing in the instruments, and he's done like massive things. Even him like being with Future at Wireless, being a main you know, he's like an artist himself.
That was crazy. Like having a producer on the flyer, and having a producer, isn't nuts. That's how you know you really, really made it, because you're a producer. What are you doing there on the stage? You know,
we're meant to be like behind the scenes.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, but no, he is a whole brand. He's known by, you know, like average people now who listen to music, whereas normal people wouldn't be able to name a bunch of producers, but people know him, and
definitely.
I'm just glad that I got to see him and met Future and Metro at Wireless. I've been trying to go to Wireless every year, and then the one year I go, I feel it was just not the best lineup, but I just went for Future. I dragged my friends along because they wanted to see Nicki Minaj. I'm like, Future was before Nicki Minaj, so they were like, okay, we'll just stick it out for you. I was like, you
won't
beware.
be disappointed.
Because they've never been in a mosh pit or anything.
Oh, like,
really? You just brace yourself.
Oh, Lauren jumping in the mosh pit, yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't think.
I can't believe that. That's crazy.
I had to get a TikTok. Yeah, and people probably thinking, why am I screaming at Metro, I love you? They probably just think she's a fan. But no, they don't understand.
They don't know.
He's my goat. I'm a producer. He's the reason why I make beats.
No, exactly. So. Yeah, that must have been insane. Hopefully you'll meet him soon for sure. So back onto the point about UK Underground. I know we spoke about that. So like you said, you're tapped in with the US. Are you tapped in with any of the US underground artists out there?
I wouldn't know who's in the underground. Is there a...
There is, but it depends. Like, so one of them's performing today, Osama San. He's not really underground anymore, but he's
I've heard of him.
He's a part of the US underground. People like that. People like Tanner, Baby Santana.
Yeah.
People like him, like they're part of the underground. Have you ever thought about working with any of them type of artists, or tapped in with any of them like that? No,
I mean, I'm down to work with anyone, really. Yeah, I didn't really think. Obviously, there's what does underground mean? Is it a certain style? Is it?
That's a really good question.
Because I feel like, is it like the opium kind of sound, or is that not?
They're gonna get onto you.
Yeah, no, that's what I wasn't sure. Do I say that or not?
I guess underground is.
It's an umbrella term.
It's an umbrella term. It's not really. When I say underground, I mean basically anyone who's not on the radio. That's what I mean. Like anyone who's not on the radio but still is known in the streets.
Okay.
Type shit. So like, you know, the ones that have a cult fan base. Like for example, Femi Guerrero is a UK underground artist because he's not really known mainstream, but he's formed that Wireless, but he's getting there and he's got a cult fan base. People like that. So they're there, but they're not there. Them people are just waiting to. The next step is into the mainstream, but that's how I feel. But it's a very umbrella term. It's a community, really and truly. It's the producers, it's the music, it's the fans, it's the clothing, it's the style, it's the attitude, it's everything. It's not really just artists which aren't doing well. So, but yeah, there's a US underground. So, but hopefully now you can tap in with them, and see where you can go from there. You know. So do you have any horror stories? Now I know producers don't get a lot of love. Pay your producers.
Honestly,
pay your producers. 2025. Having a couple producer friends, I know there's a lot of times where people get like, you know, extorted or like scammed or whatever. Like, have you ever had any horror stories yourself? And who is it with, if you did have any?
So, I mean, thousands of people have stolen my beats, which is just what you expect when you post on YouTube. I kind of, obviously you find it really annoying and it's just frustrating when they're rapping about being rich and all that, and then they won't pay. I literally charge $30 for a beat that's the lowest price for my online beats, and they can't pay that. And then I see on their story they've got, I don't know how many
racks in their hands.
So that's like for Halloween I dressed up as a rapper that says, oh, I pay on Friday, because that's the classic term that they say. like they're getting paid on Friday and they're going to give you that. I'm not hating, because most of them don't work a job that is going to pay them on Friday, so I don't know why they say that. They kind of just keep you thinking that they're going to pay you. So that's just a standard thing. And once you accept it, you're like, okay. I guess my first placement with YBN I didn't have a manager, and I always thought, what am I going to do if I get placement, because who am I going to speak to? You need to have a lawyer, and I didn't know where to find a lawyer. Where do you find a lawyer? I mean, that might be easier now when you know people in the industry, but I didn't know anyone. So his manager was hitting me up and he said how much for the beat, and obviously he signed to Universal, and I just gave them like a very low price, which I charged for my online, online beats. And then he said, oh, I can give you a lawyer if you want. Never do that, because they're like...
The lawyers cater to them, not to you.
Yeah, so although he said, oh, I can get you more money. And I was like, okay, thanks. Great. And like, I didn't think anything of it, but they weren't trying to scam me. I did end up getting more money than I'd originally said, but it was just a red flag to have a lawyer that is on their side, basically. And then the manager went, I'm going to take 20% on your fee as if I'm your manager. And he said, oh, I'd be interested in managing you anyway. So I'm thinking, why is he taking 20%? But he got me more money, acted as if he was my manager just for that one time. Which is a very cheeky thing to do.
Definitely.
But did I get more money? Yes. So I learned from that. You always need to go through one thing that you learn from. You need
to get burnt so you don't put your hand in the fire again.
And you need to always know who to reach out to, or ask a producer for help, DM them. I used to ask this one guy from America all the time. Also, another artist who was acting really strange with his management team. They said, oh, we need your info, like your name, address, which is standard info. And then they said on your annual social security number, which is basically our national insurance number, and you never give that away to someone. Like that was such a weird thing to ask for. So I'd ask, is that a normal thing to ask for? Luckily I didn't give it. I mean, I don't know what they could do with that info, but anyway, you just got to be careful. So I've not really had horror stories where I've been scammed. I mean, a lot of the time when I was trying to get sales and get people on my beats, you get people DMing you, and then they say how much for a beat, and then they say what's your PayPal, and you think they're going to pay you, and then PayPal will send you a message saying reset your password, this is the code, and they're like, oh, what's the code? So a lot of producers fall for it. You can so easily get scammed as a producer.
I saw you put on the gram the other day like an email from, was it Southside? And it was like just so, the way it was worded, it was like this guy either used ChatGPT or he's just found a thesaurus and just put every word next to something. Like, it was crazy.
It was the most formal email ever, and it's really sad because people were messaging me saying, oh, congrats. And I said, please tell me
I'm
you're
not even gonna
joking.
Lie. I can't lie. First glimpse, I saw it, I was like, oh. And then I looked at it again, I was like, wait a second, Southside, would he really say that? I said, no.
People were saying it might be more believable because it's me, him messaging me, but just the language, and it's also like a set thing. I've got millions of emails, other people have got the exact same written thing, just they switch out the name, so it's either one person or multiple people just.
And wouldn't his team message you? It wouldn't actually be him himself. His team.
And they'd never just reach out to you, giving you an opportunity like that. If they're gonna hit you up, it's gonna be on Instagram, and you can see it's them.
No, 100.
I've even had, for example, rappers hit you up and you think they want to work with you, and then they say, oh, what's your budget? Like, I'll hop on your beat. Why am I paying you to hop on my beat? So there's those things that you need to be careful of. But in those emails, they say, oh, if you send a $200 deposit, we'll make sure we'll send your beats to the artist. So stuff like that.
Deposit for what? That makes no sense. Like,
people so easily fall for that stuff, which is sad.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad, but. Hopefully now, like, moving into, as music's getting people are getting a bit more involved, people can just be a bit more aware, because everyone's going to try and hit a lick whenever they can, you know. But what tips would you have for upcoming producers, like, making their way? So I know you spoke about type beats a lot. A lot of producers I've been around said that that's how they started type beats on YouTube, and then they get that one recognition. Would that be a good way, or what other tips do you have for people?
I mean, that's what I did. I didn't know a single person in the industry. You know, you think, how can I get my beats out there? It is the most frustrating, long, tiring thing in the world, especially at the beginning. But just post your beats. You're going to get no views. Just keep going. Honestly, I kept saying to my parents, just give me 5 years. I don't know why I was saying 5 years. I didn't know if it was going to work out. You know, seeing after month after month after month, you can't get more than 50 views a beat, no sales, you know, especially if you're trying to make money. I wasn't doing it for money at that time, but just keep going no matter what. As cliche as I used to say, post your beats on YouTube, reach out to artists on Instagram, and just over time is on your side, because it will just slowly unfold, and you'll get more people hitting you up. Use, you know, social media. Social media is free to post on. I've not paid once for any ads or promo. Really? It's like a free way to promote yourself, especially something like TikTok. you can go crazy on TikTok. People finding you, you know, you never know who's going to see you, and just use it all to your advantage and try be smart with it, and you'll just learn along the way. Honestly,
No,
it's all a learning process.
No, thanks, 100%. You know, you just got to put yourself out there. And like you said, you had that goal in your heart. You said 5 years. You don't know why you said it, but you said it for a reason. And now it's like coming to fruition that you actually are not just doing this for the sake of doing this, you know? So, no, those are really good tips for sure. So every producer that's watching or anyone who's trying to get into music, listen to her because she's killing them right now. How many followers you on? Like 40? Is it 40? Well, I said 40K.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 40K?
40. It's even weird when I got 100. It's like 100 people if you picture them in a room, and then TikTok. It's just nuts.
It's crazy.
YouTube is way more rewarding though. Getting subscribers is different to TikTok followers.
No, it's very true.
If I got the amount of subscribers, if I got the amount of, if I got my TikTok followers on as subscribers, that was really badly worded. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd be absolutely
gone, clear.
Gone. YouTube is everything. It's like because you work the hardest for that.
And like I think on TikTok you can only make money if you post a minute video anyway. So you can have all these followers, but it won't actually mean anything. Yeah. So until you're posting minute videos. But no, that's great, man. I feel like for someone you've been working hard. How long you been doing this for now? Making beats for?
Seriously, since start of 2020. But really, it's been around 5 years now. Because I was working at M&S this time 5 years ago, and I was trying to go to the boys and be like, oh, I make beats, I make drill beats, and they would just,
they're like, stab it.
they check them out on Instagram just before I left, because it was just for a Christmas thing. Yeah. And then they all followed me and then unfollowed me. So I knew my beats weren't it, because, I mean, also they weren't really drill. I was trying to make drill. It's really funny, as a beginner producer, your sound and who you reach out to and just how you...
Do you hear your old beats now? You're like, what the fuck is this?
even sometimes from 2 years ago. But I'd say the last 4 years, my beats have been all right. But yeah, the first year is always like, you think you're good. That's the worrying thing, because you can't hear it for what it is. Yeah. But you just slowly realize.
Especially if you got your friends and they want to be nice, like, oh yeah, this is all right. But it's actually shit. Yeah. You don't know what to do. So yeah, no. But I guess that's a part of the process. Now, if that didn't happen, you would have been here right now, you know? So what can we expect from you, Lauren, for the rest of 2024 and going into 2025?
Honestly, I don't know myself. I mean, I do know one thing. I'm going to Miami next month, so I'm super excited for that. And
who are you going for? Just a holiday or?
No, to work.
To work.
To work. And also for Rolling Loud. I kind of go to America when there's some event on, which means loads of people will be there at that time. Yeah. And I've always wanted to go anyway, and my manager's there.
Can you name drop who you're working with?
Nothing's set in stone yet, but I'm hoping... like Polo G, Vonoff 1700. We met for like 10 minutes in Atlanta. MAF Ski hopefully again, because I linked with him in Atlanta.
Those are really big names, you know, so
I'm hoping, yeah.
And then obviously if you go Rolling Loud, they're all going to be there. So if you
they're on the lineup, and I'm hoping, because my manager has a studio there, that we can just go
there. Yeah.
I have the contacts, but it's whether it actually happens or not, because these people are so busy. And
if I say I'm like your video guy, will I come for the free ski? Is that possible?
I'm trying to get into Rolling Loud myself. I think my manager literally before this said we're able to get tickets.
So we're going to chop up after this, and we're going to make something work, because it's about time. You think I got these fits on for no reason? They need to see that over there too. But okay, if that's it, that's it. That's all we had to say for you, Lauren. It's been a really, really interesting conversation. I've been looking forward to this one, because I know you've been going crazy. I was thinking, who's this little white girl on TikTok going crazy, chilling with these drill artists that are talking about murder. But it seems like there's more to you than meets the eye, which I love, honestly. And with the way you're going, you've got to smash it. You just keep going and go crazy. Tap in with the UK underground. Yeah. Today, because I think your beats on this with these artists, it's a whole different genre. But that's all from me. It's been your boy BDNR here on FocusOnYou Music with LOLLYPOPBEATZ, and we out. Peace.